My mother's text came at 7:42 a.m. Don't expect anyone to come. No punctuation, no warmth, just finality. As if she'd been waiting for this day not to celebrate me but to confirm what I already suspected. I stared at the message while the makeup artist pinned my hair. The smell of hairspray burned in my nose. Outside, the wedding coordinator was barking orders about the floral arch inside. My phone vibrated. Again. This time a photo. All of them. My mother, my sister, my bridesmaids, even my fiancé's parents standing barefoot on a private beach in Maui, smiling, holding cocktails. Caption: finally together. That was my wedding day, and they were finally together. Remember the way the room tilted slightly when I saw it. My pulse slowed. Instead of racing, that's how I knew I was done. Whatever part of me used to beg for love, for belonging, for fairness, it died right there in the bridal suite between a lace gown and a bottle of champagne no one would open. Didn't cry. I just took a long breath, locked my phone, and whispered to myself, perfect timing. That was the first move. Michael and I met 5 years ago at a charity gala my mother hosted, the kind of event where everyone smiles too wide and talks in money. He was the only person there who didn't seem impressed by my family. Maybe that's why I trusted him. He spoke like someone who saw through the noise. He proposed 2 years later with my mother's diamond necklace wrapped around the ring box. She called it symbolic. Should have known she meant ownership. They adored him or pretended to. Family, dinners, joint investments, vacations. They built him into their circle until I wasn't sure who he belonged to anymore, me or them. But love makes you blind. Trust makes you slow. Betrayal that wakes you up fast. Started with whispers. My sister laughing too long at his jokes. My mother defending him in arguments that didn't concern her. Then, a message half-deed on his iPad. She'll never know. Just make sure the prenup stays. It wasn't even subtle. They were planning this. The marriage, the merger, the extraction, my trust fund, my name, my inheritance. I was a transaction, wrapped in lace. I didn't confront anyone. That would have been too easy for them. Emotional reactions were my mother's favorite sport. She'd twist them into proof that I was unstable. So, I smiled. I kept planning the wedding. Let them think I was walking straight into their trap. What they didn't know was that I'd already set my own. 2 months before the wedding, I moved all my assets into a separate trust under a different name, legally airtight. My lawyer was a woman my mother had fired years ago. She remembered every insult, every late payment, loyalty born of resentment. Next, I rewrote the prenup, quietly, the version Michael signed, stripped him of everything if infidelity or collusion were proven. He didn't read. He trusted my lawyer's final draft. Then the invitations. Every yes I received, I redirected private travel. Arrangements paid by me to a resort in Maui. One my family owned technically, under my mother's name but managed through a company I'd recently acquired. I knew their greed wouldn't let them decline, and all expenses paid pre-wedding. Getaway. They thought it was a secret party before the ceremony. They didn't know they were walking into a cage. So, when I stood there on my wedding morning, alone watching them toast on that Maui beach, I wasn't surprised. They thought they'd abandoned me, but really they'd isolated themselves 3,800 m away on a property whose ownership had just transferred. 8 a.m. I sent one text, perfect timing, to my lawyer. By 8:15, every access code, every account, every deed tied to my mother's estate shifted. Ownership to me, the resort they were on, the trust accounts funding their lifestyle, even the villa they were staying in. By 9, power and Wi-Fi were Cut at the Maui property. Security. Instructed to escort unauthorized guests. Out by sunset. And at 10, my ceremony. Time my lawyer delivered the revised prenup to Michael's email along with proof of his correspondence with my mother and sister. He'd signed himself into nothingness. I didn't walk down the aisle. I walked out of the venue, quiet, composed, the morning sun catching the diamond in my hand like a mirror. By evening, my phone lit up with missed calls. First from Michael, then my mother, then a series of messages that grew more desperate as the hours passed. What have you done? We're stranded. You can't do this to your family. Family? The word finally sounded like what it was, a contract written in blood, not love. I didn't reply. I just sent one photo back, the same one they sent me, them on the beach, but this time with a new caption. Finally together without me. By midnight, the story hit the press. Aries cancels wedding, takes control of family empire. They called it bold, ruthless, strategic. Called it closure. I didn't destroy them. I just left them to live exactly the life they built. One where loyalty is currency and love is conditional. Now, when I think about that morning, the quiet before the message, the stillness before the shift, I realized it wasn't heartbreak I felt. It was liberation. Because sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's legal. It's silent. It's perfect. Timing.